So exciting times. It is time for the Visa Bulletin yet again. This Visa Bulletin is for December 2024. And I'm going to go through this bulletin with you right now. And I wanted to let you know that this bulletin, as a reminder, we're going to go through the statutory numbers for family-based immigration preferences, not employment-based, okay? So I'm going to be going through these numbers on this Visa Bulletin that was just released today, okay? So again, I'm looking at the final action dates for family-based preferences, okay? So as always, I start this video by explaining what this is, okay? What is the Visa Bulletin? What is it used for? And how does it apply to you guys, okay? So the Visa Bulletin is the State Department's publication every month to everyone who has any interest in moving forward with their green card request based on the family categories, okay? So every month they post the dates so you know where you are in the waiting period for scheduling the actual interview, okay? So again, the Visa Bulletin, which I have the link posted and you can see a screenshot of it. So the government separates it into countries and family relationships, okay? So the different family relationships are F1 category, which is unmarried sons and daughters of U.S. citizens. Then they break it down to spouses and children of legal permanent residents. That's the F2A category. The F2B category are unmarried sons and daughters over the age of 21 of legal permanent residents. The third category, F3, are married sons and daughters of U.S. citizens. The F4 category are brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens, okay? So those are the family relationships. The countries that this notification is broken into relates to the general world population, okay? So that's everyone except for 4 countries: China, India, Mexico, and the Philippines. So those particular countries have their own slice of those visas available for their use. Everyone else uses the general category, okay? So basically, this month, the F1 category shows no change from last month. They're processing requests from October of 2015, and that's for the general world population, okay? So the F2A category, okay, F2A category, also no change. They're processing requests from January of 2022. Now, I've spoken to this every time I do one of these videos. I explain that the F2A category changed drastically 2 years ago from what it had been for many years. There used to not be a wait for that category. Now there's a wait. And as you know, January of 2022 is who they're currently processing. So if you filed after that, you got to wait for that number, for that date to catch up with you, okay? It created a lot of conflict with a lot of people because for the longest time, that category, it moved really quickly, but that is no longer the case, okay? The F2B category for the general world population, there is no change. May of 2016 is who they are currently processing, okay? So the F3 category, which again, married sons and daughters of U.S. citizens, there's no change for that category. They're processing requests from April 15th of 2010, okay? So if you see in your receipt notice the priority date or a PD, that's what you're looking at to find out where you are in this waiting. Okay, the F4 category, no change. The government's processing August of 2007, okay? So it's definitely a long wait for that category because it's It's the lowest category that the government has for people, brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens, okay? Next, we go to the F1 category for, one second here, for China. So if you or your family member is from China, you're looking at no change from last month, and the government is processing that category, people who filed in October of 2015, okay? The F2A category from China, no change. They're processing January of 2022, okay? The F2B category in China, they're processing May of 2016. That's no change from last month's Visa Bulletin. The F3 category for China, April of 2010. No change from last month. The F4 category, no change from last month. And the government's processing requests that were submitted August of 2007. So that's what it is. And again, this, once again, is people in China, okay? Let's go to India. So in India, they're currently processing requests from October of 2015. So the 22nd of October, to be precise, of 2015. There's been no change from last month, okay? You've seen a theme here. You've seen a trend. The F2A category in India, January of 2022, 2022. That is who they're processing currently, okay? The F2B, and once again, F2B are unmarried sons and daughters of legal permanent residents. There's no change from last month, and the government's processing requests from May of 2016, okay? The F3 category, once again, F3, married sons and daughters of U.S. citizens, April of 2010. No change from last month. The bottom category in India, brothers and sisters, the 8th of March of 2006, no change from last month. We're going to go to Mexico now. Usually there's a fair amount of change that I've seen in the last few months in Mexico. This month is absolutely going to be a disappointment because there's no change in the F1 category for people from Mexico. Okay, and F1, once again, are unmarried sons and daughters of U.S. citizens. No change from last month in Mexico. They are processing the 22nd of November of 2004. Long wait for people in that category because there's so many people from Mexico living in the United States who have been able to become citizens and now want to sponsor their children. So long wait, okay? F2A category in Mexico, they're processing requests from April of 2021. There's no change since last month's Visa Bulletin. The F2B category in Mexico, July of 2005. No change, okay? The F3 category in Mexico, the government's processing requests from October of 2000. There's no change from last month's Visa Bulletin. How disappointing is all this? The F4 category in Mexico, March of 2001 is who they're currently processing. That is exactly the same as they were processing last month, okay? So, last but not least, the country of the Philippines. I'm going to go through your numbers, okay? So the F1 category in the Philippines, they're processing March of 2012. No change from last month. The F2A category, they're processing the 1st of January of 2022. No change from last month. The F2B category, the 22nd of October 2011 is who they're currently processing. That's the same as what it was last month. F3, they're processing requests from September 8th of 2002. That's exactly the same as it was last month. And last but not least, the F4 category in the Philippines, February of 2004. Also no change from last month. So that's really odd. When I went through and I prepared for the video, I checked it 3 times. And I'm like, am I crazy? Am I seeing absolutely 0 changes from last month? No. According to the government numbers, either somebody messed up and posted last month's with a different heading, or there really has been no change in any of the progress that the government's had for any of these visas to be able to go to the interview stage of this process. I suspect that that might be related to the crazy politics with the election, with the Biden administration. There's a lot of weird stuff happened in the last month. I suspect that that has a direct impact on why things have not moved a whole lot. It's very disappointing. I just don't know what to make of it, okay? Stand by. If I find that there's a change and maybe they did post the wrong numbers, I'll do another video for you, okay? So again, if you found value in the video, maybe not the content because it's the same as last month, please subscribe, click the notification bell so you get notified of next month's video, or if I post another video explaining what happened with this Visa Bulletin, you'll get notified of that video when it comes out. So, as always, if you have suggestions, you can always reach out to me. You can always hit us up for questions. Just let us know. Check out the other content on my YouTube channel. I've got a ton of good stuff on there. If you have any questions, you can always reach me directly by clicking the link and let me know how I can help. Have a wonderful day.